Yo, what's up? Nothing much. All right. How do I sound? Do I sound damn for real? And I got
What's going on, CSBA? It's your girl, Superwoman, aka Dakota Rain or Ty White, whatever you want to go by. Welcome to the first episode of The Shot. I'm joined by my guest, my co host. I didn't want to spoil it. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you?
what's up, world? It's your boy Dick Dicky. Once again with some content. You love to get my point of view as I'm always immersed head on in the games as a broadcaster. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, he usually gonna be in there with me with the camera, but he ain't feeling too good, so we're gonna go ahead and wing it a little bit without him being live on camera. But yeah, I mean, this is what it is. Like, we miss Hawk Talk a lot. and missed that content of that. So, we were talking about, we missed that. We need that, um, content about CSBA, the down and dirty of CSBA. There's no filter on here. We ain't holding back. Your team
Yeah, we
suck.
like
We gonna
that.
say your team suck. Like we gonna have fun in here. Hope you guys enjoy it. I didn't get all my graphics I wanted to do. I actually wanted to add a ticker at the bottom there, but it is what it is. We'll get through it.
Next episode.
Yeah, next episode is gonna be killer. I'm telling y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what we came here for. Let's do the recap of the games last week. That first game, that shocked everybody. Georgetown gets their first loss in forever, but it was to a good team like Kansas. 83-75 was the score. Dicky, I mean, what did you see in that game?
That game was a battle from both those teams. Kansas responded really well in that game, and they showed that they still got some fight in them. And it was a great one for them, and it was a reality check for the Hoyas.
Mm-hmm.
That streak wasn't gonna last for long, and a lot of people were probably excited that they lost, but that's only more fuel to their fire. So they're definitely gonna come back. They're gonna come back hard. No
Yeah.
lie.
People were definitely excited that they finally lost. They haven't lost a game in a while, and they actually got pretty quiet in that Discord chat. I ain't heard from Georgetown forever. Not till last night when they had a game, but yeah, they got quiet after that loss.
Yeah,
Um,
they as
yeah,
I said, it's definitely a reality check. They
yeah.
just go through the growing pain. A L is tough, especially if you never experienced the L. You know,
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll go into that next matchup. My team, we got trashed by Ohio State. Ohio State looks so dominant right now. I felt like Duke kept up with them for the most part. It wasn't until that fourth quarter that Ohio State kind of just hammered us. And I went and talked to my guys. I'm like, look, if y'all don't upgrade, we gonna be trash. Like y'all can't play against and expect to play, especially in the ACC, and expect to actually beat a team. We gotta pack up. We gotta do the work, and I can only put so much in the game plan. It's up to my players.
yeah. Yeah, Ohio State has definitely looked really well. They definitely look good in that big. They're one of the sleeper that nobody's picking to win that Big Ten. I think they give me the most concern out of
Yeah,
any team in the
if
Big
I'm
Ten.
Iowa, I'm worried about them because they stack. They got makers from the top to the bottom, and definitely a good team to watch out for. We're going to try to keep this within the time frame before the next 7:30 matchup. So we got a good hour to talk about all this stuff. We got a lot to talk about. All right, next matchup: Miami versus Texas Tech. Miami came up on top, 95-71. Um, I watched that game because there was so much hype on that game. People kept
Yeah.
saying Texas Tech gonna be giving them all this
No,
and
I
that.
knew that was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be like that because
Blowout.
Texas Tech got some holes, and Miami just exploited them.
I thought you said Texas Tech got some hoes. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Texas Tech. They still a great team. They're gonna put up a lot of numbers, but you going against a powerhouse team like Miami, you bound to get blown out. I'm already like, man, I don't even want to play them next week because I know it's going to be one of these
Yeah.
scores again. Hey, what's going on, y'all? I see y'all in the chat showing more from Coach from Ohio State, 877, Coach of Georgetown. What's going on? I see some viewers in there. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Get in here.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
All right, next game. Gonzaga versus Syracuse. This was a good one, man. Gonzaga 91, Syracuse 80. Um,
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
felt
I
like
remember watching that one.
sorry. I felt like Syracuse could have won that game.
Mm.
I felt like they could have won that one. They was battling. They got it close, I think, to within one, and then the Zags just turned up. I'm definitely gonna go on record and say I'm a Zag hater. I'm a Zaga hater because I was verbally abused by the head
Oh, truth
coach
comes
Ted
out.
Stern. Yeah, I definitely, I have receipts if he wants to try to
Oh,
deny those
we gonna
claims,
have to post that next time. Be like, we putting on screenshots in here, man. We ain't worried about y'all. This the truth, the shot, the down and dirty of CSBA. I mean, and truthfully, Ted is a great recruiter. I mean, I personally never been recruited from him, but I've heard good things about him. But so is Syracuse. But I'm actually glad they lost because you already know I'm gonna have to hate on every ACC team, so I don't care. Um, but yeah, that's Syracuse is still a strong team, and they're gonna bounce back. They're looking forward to a great season as we get ready to roll into the conference plays. This was the last week of non-conference, and these were games that the coaches selected who they wanted to play. So that was a good matchup there. And actually, I did watch
yeah,
it. All right, the Spartans versus Kentucky. Kentucky been falling off the bandwagon.
yeah,
They
Ted
lose
going to jail.
again, 89-82. But they kept it close, man.
Yeah,
This
that was
Michigan State is no joke, and like you said, that Big Ten is just up for grabs between them, Ohio State, Iowa. Dang. I don't know. Kentucky, they last time I checked, they wasn't even on the ranking poll. Like the coach polls was like, yeah, UK suck. So,
yeah, and they fought to get back on the pole. And then, like I said, I think every week they get some good momentum going. They rise up the rankings, and then they just take a L, and they just take them right back out.
dang, it's like get your hoops up and then come right back down. But we'll see what they do next week. We'll talk about those games in a little bit. Moving on, West Virginia versus Marquette. Oh, this was the one you were tore up in. You were drunk as I don't know what. I'm surprised you even probably remember this game.
I was just gonna ask you. I don't remember this. Honestly, I swear, I'm not even lying. I put it on everything I love. I was looking. I was like, dang, that West Virginia and
That
Marquette
was a
game was
good
kind of
game.
close.
You
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
like, I
that called
wonder.
it.
I'm gonna wonder what happened during this game, and I was like, just now you were telling me. I'm like, damn, I did do that
Uh-huh.
game.
You remember all them 3-pointers they were shooting
Yeah,
and
all them
you had to
shots.
take
That
a
was
shot. I bet.
the Dick Dickey game.
But
The Dick
yeah, I
Dickey
mean,
rules.
like I said in the coaches chat, I said this game right here should have been game of the week. I know it's some of the like lower end teams of CSBA, but those be the games, man. You don't know what is going to come out from these two teams, and they proved it, man. It was just a great game all the way down to the buzzer. Um, both of these coaches got to be proud of their guys, and they came out and played. They put on a show for us, and you can't really ask much more. That's all we want. Some good shows. It doesn't matter who the team is. So,
Yeah,
congrats to
that was an
Marquette.
epic game.
I don't know if that's going to be your only win, though, but congrats. Um, I'm just messing with you. Going to
Who's
the
all that?
next
Who's
one.
Blake Benelli? Belelli? Everybody, if they comment y'all player names so we know
Yeah,
who's
put
who
y'all
out here.
player names, because y'all know y'all on YouTube. This ain't Twitch no more. We don't know what y'all names is and stuff. But the next one, this one was a beast game. Florida went on and lost to Louisville, 95-86. Louisville been talking a lot of smack. They just know they belong up there in that at least the top 10. They keep getting knocked down from
Yeah, I
Tennessee.
guess.
Where be hot.
Tom Edwards. Tom Edwards. What team you play for?
He just came in the
EJ
league.
Big. Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
so
new
he must
guy.
be a
Okay,
high
my
school
bad. My
player.
bad.
Um,
Yeah,
but
but I thought Louisville should have won by more than just 9. If I'm being honest, the if they want to be up there with the top teams, they're gonna have to win by more against the Florida team. What rank is what was Florida ranked in that game?
I don't think so. Mm-mm. But I mean, look at their team. They stacked. They got Moses King. They got Doc Boone. They got Earl Flint.
I
Who else
understand
they
that,
got on
but
there? But yeah, I guess when you only got 4-star players against a team that's got 10,
that's
it's
true.
kind of hard. It's kind of hard. But they kept with them though. That's the surprising thing. They really kept with them. I know David Ware was probably in there sweating, thinking he was gonna lose. But they came out and pulled it off, 95-86. Um, yeah. So I mean, I definitely we're gonna get to them rankings later. Don't you
Yeah,
worry. But
yeah,
I
we
definitely
definitely are.
rate Louisville better than Tennessee. But we'll get to those rankings later. We'll keep it moving. Speaking of Tennessee, 92-79 over North Carolina. I watched this game. I think I called it. Um, it went into overtime.
I don't. I
And
think I called this too.
yeah, we were calling it
Oh,
together, I
oh yeah.
think.
See, I be forgetting. My memory is so.
You be too high, you don't know.
I do be
um,
high. I'm sorry,
Tennessee,
guys.
North Carolina, back and forth the entire time. Went into overtime, and North Carolina must have walked out of the building or something because they ain't scored but like I think 4 points in overtime, and Tennessee rocked them in that overtime half. Um, one of the big names I remember from that game was Mufasa, and he just everywhere, every play involved Mufasa. Like I think he was the big key on why they even won this game. Um, good game plan for K Howie because it looked like they were going to lose. North Carolina went on a big run that first quarter. Then all of a sudden Tennessee just climbed right back into it and beat them. That's all I can say. They beat them. So, maybe Tennessee trying to shut my mouth up and be like, we belong up there in that top 15. Um, I still don't think so, but they're gonna have to prove me wrong. I got a little side bet on the side about them not making more than 3 games this season, so I'm gonna continue talking trash and hope they lose. Cause I ain't trying to pay Toy. I believe he was the starter of that bet. Uh,
Oh
it
yeah.
was a Hall of Fame
Uh,
badge or something.
he's man. Toy knows how to get you.
Yeah, he do. He knew
He
exactly what he was doing. He knew who was going to Tennessee before we even made the bet. He
right.
knew. He probably was like, "Oh, I already know who going to Tennessee, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these fools' money."
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I'm about to stack up.
All right, the next one, the powerhouse Iowa versus Alabama, 88-68. Yeah, that game probably wasn't close the entire time. Iowa, I think this was one of the 3 games I called. I was with Wired because he kept pointing out his Alabama graphics he did on their jerseys. Um, but this wasn't even a close game. I think Iowa just was walking over Alabama, which I'm very surprised because I like Alabama. I think they have a good squad. Um, but again, Iowa is just one of those teams they're going to be hard to stop there in that Big Ten. To me, the Big Ten, I've already said it in chat, Big Ten is the hardest division. And I can't wait to see who comes up on top of that. Any thoughts for you for this game?
Um,
Or
I didn't really
these
get to
teams?
watch the whole time, but that's definitely looking at the box score, Iowa's gonna be tough. They're definitely good, but Alabama, this is a wake up call. I think Riley Hunter didn't score too much that game, if
Nope.
I'm not mistaken, and he's got to really step it up for Alabama if they want to be good and be competitive.
He missing his buddy Joey Cass. He don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, they don't know how to be a. He doesn't know how to work without him.
Yeah, that's to me that's the truth. Like I feel like Joey Cass with that Riley Hunter combination really threw him for a loop, and Alabama has to find their new way around and figure out what they need to do to win games.
Yeah.
All right, two bottom tier teams, as people would like to politely call them. UConn versus the Sun Devils. Sun Devils get their first win in a close matchup against UConn. Um, yeah, I'm happy for what's the dude's name that be traveling to every team? Who's their
Um.
coach?
Oh, Bo Iverson.
Yeah, Bo Iverson getting his first win out there.
Yeah, definitely good. It
You
has
know,
to feel good too.
yeah, it definitely has to feel good. He was going to go to Georgetown at first, and they needed a coach over there, and he stepped up. So definitely happy for him. It's tough. I know I'm a Duke coach, and
And he
it's
proved a
tough.
lot of he
It's
proved a
tough.
lot of haters wrong too, though, because
Yeah.
a lot of people was like questioning him as a coach. Like, really, you want him as a coach? And at
I
the end
was
of the
one
day, he
of
got a
them.
win under his belt.
I was one of them, but I mean, I just know this dude because I remember like writing him and stuff, and he was just playing games too much, and I'm like, I don't know if he really ready to be a coach, but you know what? He put his team out there against UConn and did the work. UConn put up a fight too. Both teams definitely have some things to work out. They're a pretty young team. And like I said, I definitely feel you with Duke. I got all young stars on my team too. And, we all just building. Like, keep on building, keep pushing, and the games will come. Don't worry about it. But that was a good matchup between these two. Sun Devils came up on top. The next one, LSU versus Oregon State Beavers. This was a good one. I don't know if I called this game, but I definitely was there. I don't remember if I called it or not, but LSU came up on top 72-67. I can remember that LSU was pretty much blowing out Oregon State, and somehow Oregon State just battled into it. To me, I told Wired, I was like, I think, because he put me on the spot and was like, who you think is going to win, LSU or Oregon State? And I was like, Oregon State, because they so a veteran team. They've been in CSBA since season one, and they have that commodity. And Dewey Eggs is a good coach, but I also said Dylan is a great coach. So I knew this was going to be a close game, but LSU did come up on top, win that one. Beavers put up a good fight. You just never know with Oregon State, right?
They like one week they look really good, like
Mm-hmm.
real high competitive, and then next week they play down to their opponent. But I mean, LSU is undefeated, so they're definitely a dark horse in the league. But the Beavers able to keep up, only lost by what is that, 5?
Yeah.
So that's not bad. A 5-point loss is not that horrible for the Beavers. It's a good test against a LSU team that's been blowing other teams out of the water so far in the season.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how the rest of the season shapes up for a lot of these teams. I'm gonna let you talk about this game because y'all know better. Michigan 91, UCLA 60. Um, I feel sorry for UCLA. Like I feel like they're just one of those teams that they only have like two good pieces on there, Edelman
And Johnston,
and Johnston.
yeah, they gotta find some offense or find some other people to step up on that UCLA team. I mean they was battling for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah.
They got
If that's what you want to call it.
battling, and not hanging in there, but they was, battling. They didn't go down without a fight. They
Yeah.
went down.
um.
I mean, but hey, no team wanted to
Yeah.
wanted to
I
smoke.
was gonna
Like
say that no team
I
came
didn't,
for
I didn't.
them.
I'm not gonna. We've come to accept our name at Michigan as the villains of the league. We can be that. I mean, we will be the most hated, and that's fine with us. And it's okay. Like, and that's how they want to view us. We're not gonna be ill will or mad or anything. But I like it. It fits me. I'm always been a villain type of guy.
Hey, but the
And
truth is, like, how good is Michigan going to be this entire season? You know, we see that you guys picked some of the weaker opponents and
because we need the wins,
walk
we're not
over
that
top
good.
of them. But let's see how y'all do in the regular season against y'all conference opponents, where y'all ain't got no choice but to play some good teams. We gonna see.
I think
Uh,
we'll take at least one L in conference play.
yeah, we'll see. You heard it here, Dickie. Dickie calling just one L. That's what he said, just one L. This one I was surprised. I mean, especially coming from Clemson myself. I only know a few of the guys because half the people gone.
My
They
boy
came,
JP,
yeah, they came up on top, 91-66.
he
I
dropped
thought it was
20.
gonna be a close game, but
He
um,
dropped a 20 piece. My boy Jordan or Jaden Patterson.
yeah. They look good. I mean, granted they were going against the Trojans, but you can't ever sleep on any team in CSBA. You never know, if people packed up for certain games or if they, found a great playbook that they can put together and get out there. But yeah, I definitely thought it would be a little bit closer game, but Clemson came out there balling, and like you said, JP putting up the points. My guy Ron Burgundy's still on that team, and he
Yep.
gonna do his thing. Lennox Rice.
Hmm.
So they definitely have some great pieces on that team. They just, three people can't get the job done every time. But they did get it done here. That's all you can ask for. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going into conference play. Notre Dame versus Arkansas. Arkansas went up 84-68. Another game that I thought would be really close that didn't end up that way. Um, Arkansas been one of those teams too that been up and down. T. Cross was MIA in the chat lately, and I think that really had something to do with them trying to get back on track. Because you notice once he came back in the Discord, all of a sudden they could play. Um, so I think he really had a part into helping this team find their identity. I don't know, maybe it was also because they went against Notre Dame, which their coach DJ he been putting together a good squad. I think that
Yeah.
first game that they played really good, and I was like shocked about Notre Dame. But I remember in recruiting, I was kind of worried about them because I didn't know who they were getting. But he put together a pretty decent team. Definitely one of those younger teams that still has to grow. But I'm looking forward to seeing them too.
Yeah, they definitely gonna be pretty. They gonna come back. I mean, I think they lost this week. So, but I mean, it was against a very good team in Georgetown. But
Yeah.
it'd be all right.
That's a
I mean,
tough conference, man. They got
yeah,
Villanova and Providence, and
yeah.
you're thinking that just Providence and Villanova might be some of the lower end teams, but it's hard to even consider that because they're good. They on that ranking, and but Villanova didn't really prove that they were good in this matchup. 72-82 against Oklahoma State, who to me it's just not the same Oklahoma State. that we're used to seeing. Granted, they did get the win here. It was over Villanova, but to me, they have a lot to prove. I don't think that I forget where they were ranked at, but um, they still got some stuff to prove to me.
Yeah, same. And I think they know that they got a lot to prove. And they didn't know they're not the same from
Hmm.
last season. So
Yeah, Villanova definitely a real good step up from them. Definitely a great team. They kind of showed that towards the end of last season, but this season you can tell they made some changes, and they got that squad. A few more couple adjustments here and there, and they're probably gonna be somebody to be reckoned with in the Big uh, East. Purdue versus Baylor. This was the game for Purdue to win. 74-80 over Baylor. I mean Baylor over Purdue. Um, a lot of people think that Baylor should be one of those good teams, but they barely escaped over Purdue.
yeah, and I think that they proved a big point this week against Texas. So I mean that definitely speaks volumes to that. But that was a tough Purdue. That was a tough game for Purdue. They was in the grasp of their first win in ever, I think,
Mm-hmm. That's what
and
I'm
they just
saying.
couldn't close it.
That was the game for them to win, and they couldn't get it done. Has to be disappointing, but at the same time, it has to be a good sign for them that they actually can score and keep up with some teams. Only to lose by 6 and actually put out 74 points. Definitely gotta be happy with your squad that they're going in the right direction. Texas, your old stomping grounds versus Oregon. Another team to me that's been struggling, that hasn't been playing like they've been playing for the first 4 seasons. Oregon losing that one against Texas. Texas coming out here. I remember, didn't y'all play them? They kind of kept up with y'all, and um,
The Elite
they
Eight
came over
last
here
season,
and
the
won
Elite Eight.
us.
It was the Elite Eight last season.
Oh yeah.
We played Oregon.
Okay. Now I'm talking about Texas this season. Didn't y'all
Oh
play
yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah. We played them. They kept up, but we ended up winning by 15.
You almost made me spit my water out. But then they turned around and beat Oregon by 16. So, they
Yeah.
wanted that revenge. They got it there. The last game of the week, Providence versus Indiana. Indiana, I know, wanted that game so bad. I remember watching EJ Bailey a little frustrated with his team, but I'm gonna tell you, I play Providence. They a good team, and for you to only lose by 9, considering who you got on your squad, that's that's decent. Um, and you kept it low scoring against a team that can put up some points. They love to shoot the 3-pointer, and he has to be proud of his team. I know he's wants a couple more blue chips in there and to get that game plan going, but you got to work with what you got. And to me, he did exactly what he did with the team he got. And Providence, like Toy said, is a hard team, and they're hard to play against any team. They give every team a challenge. They got some great defense, some great scores. So definitely keep your head up, EJ, because that's a good team. That's a good score, and you guys are on the right track too. Anything else you need to say about those scores?
No, I'm good.
All right, we'll go ahead and get into the rankings. This be the stuff that be causing a whole bunch of drama. So we got the
Oh yeah.
we got the coaches ranking, which I don't even know who the coaches are that vote for this, because I'm a coach, but I don't vote for this one. Um, yeah, we'll talk about that. And then, did you see the new one? They got some computer ranking generated ones. Um, I forget how that's calculated. Let me see. Uh,
50% win, 25% strength of schedule, and 25% point margin.
yeah, so there you go. Um, the computer rankings. Let me slide it over. My bad. It's kind of blurry. I apologize for that. I didn't realize the graphic was gonna be that cheesy, but not the actual graphic. I'm talking about me putting it on OBS. Um, yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and dive into this one. Obviously, Gonzaga. They belong up there, number one. But I like the computer one has. I can see Iowa being number one.
There's a probably point margin. Like
Yeah.
they beating their teams by more. Because I mean, Zaga. I don't think Iowa's lost a game by more than by more than 10. Because I mean, let's see. Yeah, all their wins have been uh dang 20 plus.
Wow. So
All three of their wins this season have been 20 plus. So I get that.
I like that call. I finally agree with something on this power ranking. There's a lot of stuff on here I don't agree with. Um, let's go ahead and move on. Michigan State at 3. Eh, no.
I mean, let's see. Let's look at their last three games. So far, they beaten Kentucky, Oklahoma State, and Kansas.
Okay. I mean, I can see they definitely a top 5 team. I'll give them that. Top
Yeah, I don't
3.
know about three. Yeah, because
Uh,
those are all narrow victories.
yeah.
They didn't blow any team out.
Yeah, top 3. I just don't. I don't think Michigan State's top 3, and the fact that they moved up 3 spots. Mm-mm.
Let's skip number four.
First off, Miami is still a top 3 team, regardless of what happened. I believe they should be in that top 3 conversation. Even Ohio State could probably be in that top 3 conversation. Uh, I'm not sure why Georgetown has dropped that far. They played against Kansas, who is a 2-time champion
You can't bring
team.
past narratives.
I know, but obviously it's taken into consideration. No matter what people want to say,
You
people
know,
take
but now
into
you can't do that. You can't
consideration.
do that.
I
I mean,
know, I
yeah, they do,
know,
but then
but
it
they
only gets you
take
so
into
far. Like
consideration that.
to a certain extent, they only use that when they're trying to defend why they rank someone so high.
Okay.
But then when they drop people down, then it's like, hey, we're not gonna, then that card is
Yeah,
not gonna be able to be played.
but that's
So
what I'm talking about. It's always back and forth between these people. Whoever doing these votings and stuff
well,
is
let's see,
always
because they
like, "Oh, we really don't consider last season,"
lost by three
but
to
you
Michigan
do,
State,
you do, you have
lost by
to.
three. But I mean, Kansas lost by three to Michigan State, and then lost by what 15 to Ohio State,
Mhm.
and then they played Georgetown. Uh, but Georgetown has beaten every test they faced this year until
That's
they
why
played
I agree
Kansas.
that Georgetown don't belong at 7. They need to be up. They need to be up. So should Miami. Miami should be up. Michigan, you know, you guys are good, but we haven't really truly seen the true Michigan team yet. You've had an easy schedule. You shouldn't be at number 4. Um, you
I mean,
know,
when we faced a talented team, we beat them, and we beat them by more than what the team ahead of us did. So I don't know what,
I, I'll
and
see
we were the last
my
preseason game to be, and everyone want to bring in preseason, but preseason don't have shit to do with it. Sorry, excuse my language, but we only could pick one of the or one of the non-conference games.
Mhm.
Um, we were third to last to be able to confirm our matchup. Then nobody want that smoke with us.
Yeah, that's why.
We
This
didn't
is
have
why
no
it makes
single
it.
digit.
This is why it makes it so hard to really put Michigan up there, um, because we just don't know. Like we won't know until maybe week 6 or something. Is Michigan the real deal? Do they really belong up there in the top 5? Um, and then that's why I like this computer generated one. That one's a little off too, but at least it really takes into consideration the strength of the schedule, the wins, and it's all
It
based
has
off this
Michigan right there at
season.
4.
So, you know, um, yeah, it does have you guys at 4. So, I mean, I guess so. I mean, it's got the strength of the season, it's got the wins percentage, and it's focused on this season. The computer not gonna have no biased opinion about last season and stuff. So, I really like that computer generated ranking system. Um, but I mean, I'm still concerned on why on there Miami's ranked at number 8, but uh, yeah, I mean, you can't really tell the computer everything. You can't tell the
I
computer
mean, 6 is
Miami
top.
has a stellar squad. They should be moved up a little bit.
The top 6 are undefeated teams, or I think Providence undefeated too. So the top 7 teams are undefeated, and then
Mm,
Miami is the first best one loss team.
I guess so. But I mean, they did to the coaches poll. They moved up to um, 8-7. Or Toy said that the computer counts every team as an equal win. Yeah, that's kind of crazy because a
That's
win
true. It does.
against one team is not the same against as a win against another team. So that's what I'm saying. Where a computer has flaws, they can't take into consideration certain things. So it's definitely hard. But overall, I like how the computer is generating some of these. But there is like a couple that I'm like, they really don't belong in that spot. They probably should be up a little bit, or some of these guys should be down a little bit. But nonetheless, that's what they came up with. Let's go with the rest of these. Ohio State at 6. They moved up 2 spots. I like Ohio State. I think that they're going to be a very competitive Big Ten team. I'm going to continue to say that. They might even move up into that top 5. Unfortunately, you can't put two or more teams in these top 5 spots. So, I get the coaching poll. I get, you can only put one team in one slot. There's no ties. There's no, you can't put more than one team in one spot. So, it is hard to come up with these rankings. But it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have the drama and say that this team don't belong there, this, that, the other. So please don't take offense if I say something like that. I'm not hating. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be sitting there hating on a team, but I'm just going to call it how it is. Um, all right, Tori, appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying it. Keep interacting with us. I'm reading the chat. I see it on the screen, and we're gonna try to keep you guys involved while we're talking about this. Um, Texas Tech, one of those teams that they steady falling on this ranking. What do you think
Yeah,
about them?
Texas Tech. Yeah, they. I mean, they took one L, so they'll be all right. I mean, I don't think they'll take another one in conference play unless Kansas shows out against them. But other than that, I think they should be good.
The thing about the stuff that I'm talking about, how hard these power rankings are. Texas Tech took a L to Miami. Like, I mean, it was a
Yeah.
blowout L, but still, Miami is, to me, is a top 3 team. And, for them to knock them down by, what is that, 5 or 6 spots? I don't know. The Texas Tech, I wouldn't want to play them. Like, they still tough. Um, but like I said, this top like 8 is all interchangeable except for 1 and 2, and even them you could argue for Iowa being number 1 versus Gonzaga, but to me, I think Gonzaga belongs at number 1, Iowa at number 2, but then it's shaky after that. LSU ranked
Well,
at number
everybody trying to say
9.
what? Who did Iowa play? One team they played was Bama, but Bama not as good as they was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's want to talk about the games we played. We
Uh,
played uh, Texas Texas just lost to Baylor, so I guess they could say they played a better Baylor team. And then they played West Virginia as well. I want to talk that shit about Michigan. I
hey,
talked it after he
there's
left.
the
I,
argument there too. Like I
I
didn't
didn't see
even
that until now.
yeah,
Damn, I'm
I
mad
was
he's
about to
gone.
say I didn't even realize that, but yeah, I mean that's an
Mad he's
argument
gone.
too.
Ah,
So
I guess he'll see it later.
yeah. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. Um, LSU, like you said earlier, they went undefeated during these out of conference games. Um, I like Dylan as a coach, and I think he does a
They
good
didn't
thing
play
with his
nobody
squad.
either.
And
They
I
played
was I
Arizona
was gonna
State,
get to that
UCLA.
point. Like I don't think they belong in the top 10, even though they undefeated. But
I mean,
I
they did.
mean,
What was they? They beat UCLA by more than we did.
mhm.
Um, and then they beat Arizona State by 29, and then Oregon State by 5.
Okay, so they really didn't play anybody. They might
Oh,
have had some big wins, but the strength of the schedule says that wasn't like a a big win to be ranked in the top 10. Um, to me, out of those teams that's below them, Louisville could go up there. Villanova could go over top of them. Um, Kansas could definitely go over top of them because I'm not taking it out of my head that they're a 3-time or 2-time champion. And they still got the same squad. Like you can't not say you don't take into consideration that they a 2-time champion and they had the exact same squad since season 1. Like I I just can't take that out of my head. Like I'm glad that they at least in the top 10 because they had them down at like number 15 last week, and I was like, what?
well, I mean, they
Um,
did take 2 L's.
yeah. I mean, but they play tough teams. Even I forgot who put it in chat was like, dang, y'all gave Kansas that hard matchup, 3 hard matchups, but I told them I was like, well, the coaches chose the third one. They played against Georgetown and handed Georgetown their first L. But at least they in the top 10. I'm happy with that. Now, this is where most people will be like, oh, you hating. But I'm really not. Tennessee does not belong at number 11. They definitely a top 20 team, but they don't belong at number 11. They barely beat, well, they actually beat UNC by a lot. But during that whole game, they struggled. Like they did not play as like a top 11 team. And for some reason they keep climbing up the ladder. Even though I understand the consideration of, if they won they're 2-1. Um, but to me, Louisville is a better team than Tennessee. I would love to see that matchup. Unfortunately, we're not going to see it maybe in March Madness, but to me, I think Louisville belongs up there over top of them. I think Villanova is better than them. Maybe even Providence. I don't know. That's a close tie to me for Providence and Tennessee. But they definitely impressed me in that overtime play. But other than that, no. Oklahoma State, I think they're right where they need to be at. You know, they're not a bad team, but they also not a top 10 team. So I think they're pretty much where they need to be. Um, and like I said, Villanova and Providence are pretty much interchangeable. I can't wait to see that matchup between those two. I think Providence is definitely right where they should be, and I think they are a little bit less than Villanova. I think Villanova has higher scoring opportunities versus Providence defense. What do you think about that, Dickie? Did you leave me? I think Dickie
Hold
fell
on one
asleep.
second.
Oh, I was like, I think Dickie fell asleep on me over here. I know we get ready for these next couple of games coming up at 7:30. Um, Alabama has been dropping some spots. They definitely not the same team that they used to be. We talked about it earlier against with Riley Hunter really not stepping up and being the type of player that we're used to seeing. I think he missed his buddy Joey Cass. Um, Syracuse stays at the 17th spot. Oregon State moved down 7 spots. Um, you know what? I don't even know. I can't say what the coaches were thinking in that aspect. Um, I mean, I definitely agree that Oregon State should have moved down, but I don't know. They just one of those teams that's an up and down team. We never know what we're going to get when Oregon State plays. So hopefully they get themselves together and we'll see what they truly about when this conference play starts. Then you got Florida, who to me was impressive. They played very well against Louisville, and they definitely belong in that top 20 spot. They actually moved up a level. North Carolina moved down a level. Biasly, North Carolina shouldn't even be on that top 20, but they are. Um, and I think people really just take into consideration that they have a good squad, but unfortunately, they don't know what to do with that squad. And to me, I don't think they belong on the top 20. I think they very are beatable, and Tennessee proved it. You know, you had them in your
What happened?
hand. I think they had a 25-point lead against Tennessee, and Tennessee came back, stormed, and beat them and knocked them out of their house. I just, I don't see them belonging in the top 20. Are you back?
Ooh, they're not in the top 20. Sorry, my cousin called me.
Oh, you think North Carolina belong in the top 20?
Absolutely not.
All right. So we both agree about that. And I already gave my reasons. Like I just felt like they beatable. They shouldn't even be up there. I don't even know how they got the one
All
win.
right, let's pull up the statistician. Um, they beat a UConn team that seems they're. I
Oh,
think UConn hasn't won a game.
yeah.
Then they lost to Providence by 8. So
Mhm.
competitive. And then I mean they had a chance to beat Tennessee. That would have been the win to keep them in that top
25
20 in my opinion.
points. 25
Yeah,
point lead.
yeah. So
And they
yeah,
just they showed their true colors. I'll put it that way. North Carolina showed their true colors. Don't belong up there on the top 20. I don't know who could take their place, but they shouldn't have been up there. Um, Carr said he gonna change that opinion. I'm sure, but Carr, you can't do it on your own. Like, you need your up. Like, I know you be shooting those threes. You shoot about 20 of them. Wasn't that what his stat was? But yeah, I think for North Carolina, they need some of their other players to step up. They need Percy's new guy to act like Percy Cooper Jr. because he ain't doing nothing. The game says he thinks Baylor should have that spot. Who got left out that we think should be in? Man, that's a tough question. Dick, you got an answer for that one?
Let's
Let me see who even
hold on.
left
Let me
out.
pull up.
There's so many
Right, that's what I'm
schools
about to
in this
pull up
league.
the
There's so many schools in this league. It's
36.
hard.
Um,
Arkansas can have a way at it.
Marquette maybe.
Marquette.
They're
Um,
2-1. It's Florida right there at 19. Okay. Marquette. Let's see. Who did they play? Where is Marquette? Right here.
Texas. The Longhorns. They could have took that spot.
They took 2 L's. They got they lost
Yeah,
by 15
they
to
beat Clemson.
yeah.
So you're right.
Marquette beat Clemson and beat West Virginia, but lost to Louisville. So I mean, they could be right there at that 20 mark, or Kentucky's 1-2. So yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to
Um.
say. But to me, Arkansas could probably take that top 20.
Yeah, Arkansas. Um. Yeah, Arkansas really. Arkansas or Marquette.
So there your
Who did
answer there.
Arkansas play?
Um,
Arkansas. They lost by 15 to. But they haven't played anybody. They didn't play nobody. It's the same case people are trying to make for Michigan being so high. They didn't play nobody either. They played Notre Dame, lost by 15 to Oregon State, and only won by 14 against UCLA. But I
but
mean, that's still good.
you definitely opened my eyes about that Iowa. Like, to me, I was just
Yep.
thinking, like, Iowa been blowing out teams. They've been doing this, doing that. And then when you point out who they played, I was like, oh, they pretty much in the same boat as Michigan. And nobody talked
Yep.
about that. Like, they ain't been saying that because I didn't even realize
Nope.
it. And, we got them ranked at number 2. That's why I
Number
said
2, and
That's
they
why I
only
said
played
Ohio
Bama.
State is gonna be the team to beat in Big Ten. I wish we talked about that, but we'll save that for the next podcast. It's usually gonna be on Mondays at 6, but I had some girl time out there. But let's talk about these Week 4 games that's coming up after we just got finished with the rankings. So appreciate you guys putting your input on that, and Dickie, your input. Let's pull up the schedule for Week 4 action. We already a day late, so we had 3 games played, but we still gonna talk about that in the next podcast because we got to do the recap of the games, so we won't talk about those scores. But all right, let me find through all these channels we got on CSBA.
I got the schedule. We got
All right, who we
tonight
got
at
tonight?
7:30. It's at 7:30. We got Uconn at Marquette. Then at 9, Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. Then at 10, Arizona State at Oregon.
All
Then on
right.
Wednesday, because we're only doing we're doing 3 nights these next 2 weeks because of the holidays. So Wednesday to wrap up this week, we'll have West Virginia at Kansas, Villanova at Providence, game of the week, and then UCLA at Oregon State to round us off at 10.
Yeah, so now the coaches are voting for game of the week. They give us some choices and we vote. It's usually just one, but since we had that split of the holiday, we decided to do 2 games of the week. And so you got that Villanova and Providence game, which is, to me, that's who I voted for. I think that's going to be the game to
That's
watch
gonna be
for
a
real.
definitely good game. Those two teams get to definitely see, and I think this week, even tonight, with Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, that plays a big part in that Big 12 to see which one of those two teams is going to be the front runner. Followed by either a Kansas. Like those three teams, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Kansas are in a. It's the three that can win out, can win the league.
Right.
So
So, all right, let's talk about these 2 games this week, or these games this week. So, without even thinking, pick your teams.
let me get Marquette. Give me the Pokes and Oregon. And then on Wednesday, give me the Jayhawks. Give me Nova and Oregon State.
All right, for me, I'm gonna say Marquette, Texas Tech, Oregon, Kansas, Providence, Oregon State. And then you guys are going to have a Merry Christmas, going to enjoy your time with your families from the 23rd to the 26th. There are no games that week. And then we're going to come right back at it on December 27th. We're going to kick it off with Clemson versus North Carolina. LSU at Arkansas at 9. And the 10 o'clock game is Tennessee versus Alabama. That Tuesday, the 28th, 7:30, Louisville versus Syracuse, followed by Michigan versus Indiana. And then the last game of that night is Florida versus UK or Kentucky. And then the last game of the second week, Duke at Miami, MSU at Ohio State, which was voted game of the week for week 2, and Iowa at Purdue. All right, same thing, Dickie. What you got?
Let's see. Give me North Carolina, LSU, Tennessee, Louisville, Michigan, Can, Florida, Florida. Oh shit! It's 3 more games.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, damn, why you thought how you
I
say
was like,
that?
you ain't gotta think on this next one. What you doing?
Miami, and then Ohio State, and then Iowa.
All right, that sounds about similar to me. I'm gonna go with North Carolina. Um, I'm actually go with LSU on that one.
I did too.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Louisville, Michigan. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go Kentucky over Florida. Miami over Duke, unfortunately. Um, I'm gonna also go with Ohio State in that game of the week, and Iowa over Purdue. So, that was it for the shot episode 1. I think we kept it at like 12 viewers. Hopefully, we can get some more in here. We'll try to deliver some even more content and more junk talking. Maybe get some interviews in here. So hopefully, you guys are hyped for the next couple episodes. It's usually going to be on Mondays at 6 o'clock, right before the 7:30 games, just like we had on Hawk Talk. Um, and hopefully Dickie will have his camera on. He's a little sick, so don't mind him. Um, but yeah, this is like the format we're gonna try to do. Keep it up, and hopefully you guys are excited about that. And hopefully we did a good job. And we're gonna talk the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Help us, God. And
There. Yes. Yes.
we ain't gonna hold back. We're gonna tell it how it is, and don't come in here getting your feelings hurt, cause you might. And don't think we hate and we just telling the truth. And hopefully that people don't get offended by what we say. And just enjoy the content. Have a great CSBA season and everything. We look forward to hearing from you guys. Hit me up in DMs if you want something said on the show. If you got some ideas for the show, you want to be an interviewee. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream, follow. This is the official CSBA YouTube page. Most of the time Hulk does the pro league on this one. This seems like this is where our show is going to be at. And we hope to see you guys in the future. Appreciate you, Dickie, for coming in.
Yeah.
And again, go make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for some Twitch action coming up in about 20 minutes. That first game, Marquette versus Kentucky. Connecticut.
Yeah,
Um,
Uconn.
so, yeah, hope to see you guys there. Did I miss anything? We've been talking a whole bunch of smack about Iowa. What you talking about? You're going to have to replay that. But
Yep.
yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. We've been on here for about an hour and 10 minutes, so we're about to get off here and we about to go hop into Twitch and watch these games. We'll see you guys tonight. It'll be me and Dickie in the booth. And yeah, any parting words?
Man, ready to talk smack after this week coming up
Yeah, I can't
about
wait to
any and
see.
everybody.
Can't wait to see these new rankings and how week 4 games are going to shape up. This is it. This is the conference plays. It's time to get down to business. So I'm Ty. That's Dickie. And we're giving you the shot, the down and dirty of CSBA.